taken by photographer Blake Ezra. Miriam recently told the Jewish Chronicle, quote, "I do know what it is to suffer and to be stashed away. I have been horrified by what is happening in Gaza, and to me, it feels like a second Holocaust." Joining us now is Elisha Wiesel. He's the son of the late Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate, Elie Wiesel. It's good to have you with us today. You wrote a piece for The Hill recently, and you know, we just heard those words from Miriam, and you wrote, "My father saw Israel as the only guarantee against a second Holocaust." This morning, as we see what's happening, how are you feeling about that?
Listen, you know, first of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This is a holiday of gratitude. Observant and practicing Jews begin their day by reciting a number of prayers. And one of those prayers, actually the very first one that we say, is thank God who gives the heart the ability to perceive the difference between day and night. And we have, all of us, the ability for moral action to see the difference between good and evil. And what my father wrote about in Night is in danger of occurring again today. And we have to make a decision on how to respond to that. There's a lot to be grieving about. There's a lot to be afraid about in the United States right now with regards to anti-Semitism. Incidents are spiking. Students on campus feel threatened, receive threatening notes, have to listen to people protesting, globalize the Intifada, which was a wave of suicide bombings, and they have to hear that that's going to be globalized on their campus. It's the same evil that we hear when we see tiki torches and Jews will not replace us, just from a different side. But how do we respond to it? That's our choice. And, you know, my view is, I was asked at synagogue the other day, is this Europe in the 1930s? Should sensible Jews get out like now while they can? And my answer to that is, God forbid. We love this country. We came here to contribute to it. Thank God we're here. And, you know, my son the other day has not been particularly practicing in his observance. He's 18 years old. When October 7th took place, he put on his yarmulke, his head covering, and walked out to his non-Jewish private school, you know, to make a statement.
You wrote about the story of the just man and the Jewish story of the just man. And for people who aren't familiar, I just want to read part of that to them. He warned that hatred, which begins with anti-Semitism, inevitably threatens the whole world. And then you wrote, but as with the just man, my father's protests were ignored. Speak to that in this moment.
Listen, in 2014, 2 years before my father passed, he published an ad which exposed Hamas. It basically accused Hamas of engaging willingly in child sacrifice, of being on the wrong side of ethics. And my father called on the Gazan people to do whatever they could to pick new leaders who would represent Islam as it should be, not this horrible twisting of religion that we've seen under Hamas's leadership. We've seen what they do. My father was pilloried for this by friends on the left in particular. They said, that couldn't be you. How could you possibly say something like that, to accuse someone of child sacrifice? Of course, you know, a year later, when we found out that Hamas was firing rockets from schools in the UN reports, it became very clear that what my father had said was right. But I think, we have a generation that grew up after 9/11. This new generation has not seen pure evil, and they don't know what to make of it, and therefore they're confused, and lies permeate. So my father was not believed, sadly, at the end of his life, but we all need to be clear-eyed and see what's going on.
There's a generational trauma. You speak to the younger generation who hasn't lived through some of that, but there are people who have heard about it or witnessed it even from their loved ones who maybe were not comfortable talking about it, about the old trauma that they've been through. People like Miriam, people like your father. The way that is passed down, that is also at play with so many of these hostages and their families in this moment. What are some words that you feel would bring them any comfort in this moment as they're in this agonizing wait, as they know what their loved ones are coming back to and what they'll be dealing with for the rest of their lives?
Wow, what a profoundly difficult moment to have this uncertainty. And, you know, we as a Jewish people receive a lot of instruction from the Talmud, which is one of our holiest books, that is the arguing and writing over so many, you know, decades and centuries of our sages. And even they're conflicted on what to think about the ceasefire deal. You know, there's a statement that to save one life is to save the world entire. There's also, however, an injunction against effectively paying too much for hostages. You know, we've been at this a long time. The fact that 1,000 years, 1,500 years ago, we were writing about how to barter to get our hostages back tells you quite a lot about how long anti-Semitism has been going on. And there's an injunction against paying too much, lest we encourage our enemies. You know, for the families, all I can say to them is, we're with you. There's an incredible initiative going on right now in the community called Seats of Hope, not seeds, but SEATS, as in a chair, seatsofhope.net, where families celebrating Thanksgiving can show their solidarity by leaving an empty seat at their table with a printout of a particular hostage to keep them in mind. So our hearts and our minds are with you in the deepest possible way.
Elisha Wiesel, beautiful words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, as we've been telling you throughout the morning, we are waiting on this news conference from Qatari